First up, we've had no shortage of comic book movies and video game movies. A relatively newer genre has been toy-inspired movies. From The Wrap, Jeff Wadlow, the director of Truth or Dare and Kick-Ass 2, is set to direct a live-action Magic 8-Ball film based on the fortune-telling toy from Mattel. The toy company is teaming with Blumhouse Productions to develop a suspense-filled feature film based on their iconic toy. This is the first partnership between Blumhouse and Mattel, but the sixth project Mattel Films has in development, including other feature films based on their brands Barbie, Hot Wheels, Masters of the Universe, American Girl, and Viewmaster. Fun fact, Time magazine listed the Magic 8-Ball as one of the 100 greatest toys. Next up, Pixar has always been able to lure in impressive casts for its films, and now the studio has roped a classic comedy foursome into its Toy Story 4 cast. From Slash Film, legendary comedians Betty White, Carol Burnett, Carl Reiner, and Mel Brooks have been added to the cast. This group of actors portrays a selection of toys in Bonnie's closet, baby toys she's long forgotten about. Burnett plays a chair named Cheryl Burnett, Brooks plays an elephant called Melephant Brooks, White plays a tiger named Bitey White, and Reiner plays a rhino named Carl Rhinoceros. Toy Story 4 arrives in theaters on June 21, 2019. Next up, the Batman director Matt Reeves has settled any possible doubt in regards to the recent Robert Pattinson casting as our new Bruce Wayne. From MovieWeb, last week several reports confirmed the actor had locked things down, with some conflicting reports in regard to whether or not he had actually signed the deal. Reeves took some time to weigh in on this Robert Pattinson casting news, though he did so without using a single word. He shared a GIF, yes, GIF, of Pattinson on Instagram from his acclaimed movie Good Time and included several bat emojis. The 33-year-old actor has been sticking to roles in indie movies such as The Rover, The Lost City of Z, the aforementioned Good Time, and this year's High Life. Filming is expected to start early next year. The Batman is set to arrive in theaters on June 25, 2021. Next up, It co-writer Gary Dauberman revealed that he is no longer attached as writer and producer for Paramount Pictures' upcoming film adaptation of Are You Afraid of the Dark, based on Nickelodeon's iconic 90s horror series. From ComingSoon.net, last year it was previously reported that Disturbia director DJ Caruso was in talks to helm the film. However, now it's unclear whether Caruso is still attached to the project. Are You Afraid of the Dark feature was originally supposed to be released on October 4th, but was pulled from the studio's release schedule. Are You Afraid of the Dark is based on the Canadian horror anthology series that ran on Nickelodeon from 1992 to 1996. The series featured a group of teenagers who called themselves the Midnight Society, who would gather around a campfire at the beginning of each episode to tell a scary story ranging from abandoned houses to vampires and killer clowns to witches. Next up, not a fan of 2017's The Dark Tower? Don't worry, not many were, including its producer Ron Howard. The producer-director admitted to the following mistake when it came to Roland the Gunslinger's big screen debut. I think it should have been horror. I think that it landed in a place, both in our minds and the studios, that it could be PG-13 and sort of a boy's adventure. I really think we made a mistake. I mean, I'm not sure we could have made this movie, but I think if we could have made a darker, more hard-boiled look and make it the Gunslinger's character study more than Jake, I think in retrospect that would have been more exciting. We always felt like we were kind of holding back something, and I think at the end of the day, it was that. As the literary source was a darker, more mature fantasy that saw much weirder and more gruesome events, the PG-13 style of filmmaking just couldn't cut it. Stephen King himself admitted that the studio went crazy with trying to turn the R-rated novel into a franchise-ready, less hard-edged product. Next up, Charlize Theron has been selected for the 2019 American Cinematheque Award, with the presentation set to take place November 8th at the Beverly Hilton in Beverly Hills, California. From Variety, American Cinematheque chairman Rick Nocita had this to say about the actress-producer. Charlize Theron is making a significant contribution to the art of motion pictures while breaking through outmoded limitations on what an actress and producer can do. The selection was announced Monday. Theron was the unanimous choice of the Cinematheque Board of Directors Selection Committee. And finally, Barry Jenkins has been set by Fox Searchlight to direct its untitled film based on the life of Alvin Ailey, one of the most influential choreographers of the 20th century. From Deadline, Searchlight made a deal early last year with the Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater, which granted full cooperation from the organization that controls the rights to Ailey's choreography. The filmmaker won an Oscar for the Best Adapted Screenplay for Best Picture winner Moonlight, his breakout film for which he was also nominated for Best Director. Most recently, he was nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay for the celebrated If Beale Street Could Talk, which he also directed. And that will do it for today's installment of the Movie News Feed.